two, and one.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to VESL Week 2 Southeast Qualifiers for Rocket League. $25,000 on the line in this tournament. I'm D'Lo, joined here by Zepp. How we feeling?
Feeling absolutely fantastic. $25,000. My God, that is a lot of DOS we played for here today. So all of these teams are going to be making sure to bring it to the table right from the get-go, looking to get those good results in and set themselves forward for the rest of the season, the rest of this tournament. Cannot wait to get into this one.
Absolutely, and it's going to be instantly that we're getting into it. In fact, now we're seeing high schoolers at each other's throats here. What do we expect from this level of play when it comes to the level of experience these players boast? What do we maybe expect to see on the strategy side?
Well, I imagine the level of experience, especially, the qualifier stage is going to be pretty varied, right? You're going to have people that, play for a bit of fun and decided, hey, maybe they're going to take it somewhere. And then you're going to have people that are legitimately competing for that top level to maybe continue playing Rocket League outside of a high school setting going forward. So I imagine, the skill gap might be varied between some of these teams to begin with. And then especially now as we're in this game one, it's going to be a lot of back and forth, a lot of feeling each other out, seeing what the opposition is going to be able to bring to the table to gauge their skill level and go forward from there.
And that's just naturally what Rocket League offers you in the best of 5 format. You have a few games to play with. You don't obviously want to let goals go, like you might be at risk of, set it up on a silver platter, but only going to be a soft tap there, going to be batted away by the members of New Bern here. But like you said, it's going to be interesting to see who are the heroes of each side as we begin to suss out the skill level. Right now, Havelock putting up a nice solid iron wall of defense.
Yeah, Havelock solid in the defense, but New Bern, credit to them. They're keeping up this offense. Every time Havelock get a clear, New Bern are right in there, and they're kind of dominating the attack at the moment. Havelock need to work on not just getting a clearance, but getting a bit of a controlled counter-attack going, and maybe having that here as they set the chase, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And very very back and forth so far. New Bern maybe slightly stronger on that offensive effort, but Havelock defending well and haven't really come under any real trouble yet so far with a minute and a half gone.
Indeed, they felt pretty confident, it seems, on their defensive end, but if New Bern can keep up the offensive play, one of these shots has got to eventually give. Havelock need to lower their heads as the Rams they are and charge on forward, but they ain't gonna do that instead. Batted away once again. Seems like we have quite the stalemate on our hands. It's going to be just a question of, and a matter of time, as to who makes that first mighty leap forward into the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. And seeing the way Havelock are hitting this offense, it's interesting. They're getting up. I say it's interesting, it is, because they just got themselves a goal, but they played that very well. Did not go into the corners, just wait and held back for New Bern to make a mistake in their defense. Rocky to begin with on their first defensive wave, and Havelock capitalized on that 1-0 to them.
I mean, show us their strategy. Potentially, it might just be set up that iron wall, wait for someone to show their cards, flash their hand, and once you see those vulnerabilities, you strike where they aren't. Unfortunately, it was a good attempt at defense there by ET Void, but that aerial just, unfortunately, going to be nothing but air. Havelock now with a nice advantage. 2 minutes left on the board, though. Couldn't be anyone's game. Gangi showing some very fancy flying moves with those nice flip resets.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both these teams very evenly poised and kind of showing moments of brilliance, but other than that goal, we haven't really seen anyone kind of breaking the lock and picking apart the other team. It's Havelock now, they have the ball again, trying to muster another offense, and they've been quite clinical on the little offenses that they've had, but New Bern get it cleared, but not for long. Maybe Havelock now going to start having some minutes of dominance here as they're beginning to set up for this offense. Their
ball control has been a bit more noticeable in these last few minutes, and that just might be their way of playing the game. They've sussed out the weaknesses of New Bern. Now they're trying to burn them something fierce here. 2 minutes left on the clock, needing to find some means of getting this way back into the game. But if Havelock keep up this offense, this salvo of shots, there's going to be no opportunity for them to get back in. And here it comes, sailing right from the left side. Gangi goes a bit wide.
Yeah, lovely little shot, and as you were pointing out, with the control coming in for Havelock, and nothing really happening for them from that offense, but every time they hit that ball, every place they're crossing it to, every touch they get looks far more dangerous, and that is proof of it right there. Gangi, what a goal.
That was just beautiful. That was beautiful. Chicken's done a great job of setting up Gangi, and Gangi's positioning, the fluidity with which they move themselves in the air is par none. Might have to look for that as the prime offensive threat that New Bern needs to shut down at this point to have any hopes of making their way back in. Now, 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the board, 2 goals to get yourself back to even. It's a mighty hill to climb.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we talked about how in a game one, these teams usually just like to feed each other out and see what's being brought to the table. And, you know, credit to New Bern. It kind of goes against the point that they just made as they're after scoring a goal. Maybe start pulling themselves back into it. But it looked like Havelock were beginning to suss out New Bern and maybe understood how they had to play against them. But New Bern getting that goal back, potentially shaking things up.
Kicks that off by frying the chicken. Fantastic demo to give yourself that power play and make you go into scoreboard. That could just be the momentum they need, but Gangi does not care. This man is moving through him. He's dancing on him like it's Gangnam Style. Fantastic work to Havelock to not really be shaken up by that. It's just Rocket League they're looking to play, and 1 minute of it left to play for this game one. Question is, can New Bern find their way into this tie? But right now, Chicken sailing through the air like the namesake. This is an open goal. Could be troublesome if Gangi reaches it first, but ET Void tips it away at just the right time. It's still in dangerous territory, but it seems the New Bern will clear.
Yeah, great clearance from ET Void there. And, you know, it looks like Havelock just have that Gangi there as their kind of star player. Just the way that they're going up for the redirects and the reading of the game for clearances, getting on the ends of things. Gangi's been looking like a real threat, but New Bern just seem very strong as a team. I'm kind of waiting for a player to go above and beyond. Potentially there with Cutthroat, but just missing out. And now with only 15 seconds left, New Bern, they need to get on this scoreboard.
But they're literally running on their last dregs of fuel. Could be troublesome now. 10 seconds left, and the members of Havelock are lowering their heads, ready to charge forward and get themselves this early lead. Fantastic touch there from Gangi, but here comes Cutthroat Bear from the top. Not going to be able to have it. Havelock get away from there with their fingertips intact. A nice game one to them.
Oh, that was a really close one in the end. New Bern with the shot, but just sending it to the wrong corner, and Havelock there for the defense. And it was a fantastic game for Havelock. And of course, Gangi being that MVP, 539 on the score. 2 goals, one of them an immaculate piece. And then, of course, you go to the side at New Bern where, you know, everyone really seemed to pull their weight, but no one really standing out. And potentially, you know, that was the difference maker in this game, number one, having that standout player, you know, for Havelock, but New Bern just not really having that player that took them to that next level.
But you know what? There's something to be said there about when you have a very identifiable star amongst your ranks, it just becomes that much easier to place a target on your back. So hopefully Gangi going to have some good evasive maneuvers to avoid potential demos that might be coming out of New Bern, because that was their way of entering into that goal they put up. It was first starting off with destroying the chicken, burning that man's out, and then moving on forward. So hopefully Havelock have an answer to that, but hopefully New Bern have a deeper bag of tricks to make sure they can come back game two.
Yeah, well, I mean, speaking of deeper tricks, you look at the way New Bern were playing. I mean, seeing the demolitions that they had, just having moments where, you know, they're getting in and playing a bit of dirty Rocket League, trying to disrupt the rhythm of Havelock. But, you know, again, I think that's just credit to New Bern. They're learning. They're against their opposition. Havelock, they learned in that game one. They figured out how New Bern played. They exposed it, but then New Bern countered right back, getting a goal of their own. Honestly, I think while Havelock look like the stronger team so far, this series is still all to play for.
And we're going to be playing more of it. Game two coming at you in just a second here. It's going to be interesting to see who ends up staking their claim now that we've already gotten one game under our belts. We already know what the deal is, and we're starting off with some demos, it seems. New Bern wants blood.
And New Bern out of the gates quickly, trying to get up. Getting an early goal will be perfect for them to get them some momentum going back into this one. But Havelock, we've seen how comfortable they are in the defense as well, as you've seen at the beginning of that game one, but looking in a bit of danger there, and they kind of get a little bit lucky with that clearance.
It was so close, but they just couldn't find the last bit of momentum they needed to tap that one in. It just was bouncing around, so tantalizing, but couldn't take the bite they so desperately wanted. But here comes Chicken running in from midfield. Not going to be able to find that one either. Just runs headlong into it like their team mascot themselves. But ET Void going to be on the defensive end, tries to clear it out. But Havelock will have none of it. Back in the corner it goes.
Yeah, Havelock are getting better at these sustained offenses and putting New Bern under pressure. But that ball is cleared. It's still in the danger zone, but it's not on the back of the net yet. And that's what New Bern will be focused on, as they have to clear once again. And it's gotten way more intense from both of these teams, it has to be said, in the second game.
I'm loving the defensive play here from New Bern, but I'm also loving the offensive rotation from Havelock. But now they're finding themselves in the defensive end, but Cutthroat, unfortunately, starved for boost, gonna have to retreat on back, and you're gonna need that boost right now because you're under pressure. Vivio gonna be stepping up to try to make something happen, and now retreating on back. 2 members to stand up against him. Havelock once again on the offensive, but Demo just as quickly. Chicken might have a chance at it, though. Just goes a bit shy to the left.
Yeah, and, you know, Havelock in this game number 2 now, they have this 1-0 lead, and they know that they can dominate the game, and for the most part, they've been keeping themselves relatively comfortable in this game too, and this is where New Bern will start thinking about the series, especially now that they've gone 1 goal behind, not being able to clear that one out, and Havelock just really seem in a comfortable place at the moment, and that is going to be throwing New Bern off.
ET Void had a chance to swipe it away, almost managed to get that wheel on it that they needed to bat it out of range from the goal, but Chicken's precision was just too solid there. Havelock are just dominating the air, but it might be countered just as quickly. Rio puts one up, evens up the game.
Well, this is exactly what New Bern needed to do. They needed to have moments where they'd answer back with aggression straight away and not let Havelock get comfortable, because I think that has been the nail in the coffin for New Bern so far, is that Havelock get into positions where they get comfortable and they are just happy to work with whatever they've got. New Bern put it to them right there. They kept up the aggression right after conceding, and maybe the pace of this game getting quicker might suit them better as Havelock will begin to start to have a little less control. But in saying that, again, another good moment of an attack there where it goes just over the bar. As to be said, both of these teams just have moments where they look really dangerous.
It's in the air for Havelock. Despite being the Ram, they don't want to keep their feet on the ground. They are charging in the sky, but Weo once again feeling juiced up after getting that first goal for the team, but blocked out just as quickly. Vivid going to try to stop them. Gangi takes to the air as they like to do, and Chicken going to bat it away. Look at that brilliant coordination, but look in the sky. It's a plane. It's ET Void.
Yeah, looking at the way Havelock just managed that defense, though, they are just so confident. You know, when they're positioned right, they pass so well to each other, getting ready to get themselves out of their half, having a little bit of a kerfuffle here in the back that's going to potentially be capitalized on. Once again, sort of going against the point that I was making, but I mean, for the most part, right, you know, Havelock have been looking really strong when passing to each other, and just in terms of the finesse of the movements, you would argue that Havelock have that advantage, but still, you know, you have to be able to do the basics right and put that ball in the back of the net, and New Bern, at least in this game, have been keeping up in that regard.
Gangi trying to recapture some of those glory moments of game 1, but it might be ET Void bringing it right back to the back, but Gangi, no slouch on defense either. Now it's Weo forced to clear for the team, but it's again another stalemate here. Havelock blocks it back. Each of these players has been such a great force on offense and defense. You're gonna need a bit more than that though. Vivid keeps the game alive.
Oh, that was a close one. That was a very accurately placed ball, threading the needle nearly right through the line into the back of the net, but a good clearance there in the end. And that's how New Bern just kind of out of nowhere looked dangerous. You know, Havelock sustaining moments of a very finesse style attack, I'd argue, but New Bern just kind of come back and hit with pinpoint accuracy and an aggression that at times does scare Havelock, but they do seem for the most part still quite confident in their defense. And I think for New Bern, it'll be counter-attacks that they'll have to rely on if they want to pull away with this game. But 40 seconds left now. Could we see ourselves potentially getting our first overtime?
Oh, I don't know about that one if they keep up this pressure. Havelock just launching shot after shot. New Bern managed to come away looking like roses. And now Weo trying to once again put one up for the board to lock out this deadlock. But 30 seconds left on the clock. It's looking to be a close one. Chicken takes to the sky once again.
Yeah, 20 seconds left, and it's just so back and forth now. Both of these teams chasing this game. They do not want it to go to an overtime. You know, Havelock.
13 seconds left now. We're in double-digit territory. Chicken takes on a wing and a prayer. It's not going to go in, though. Vivid to follow it up. Another brilliant defense there from New Bern. 4 seconds on the clock. New Bern just trying to hang on with every ounce of strength they have. Brilliant
what a ball
there from Chicken, but ET Void meets Gangi in the air. It's going to drop. It's OT.
Whew, that got intense in the last 20 seconds. Both of those teams really up in the aggression, but Havelock, it has to be said, mounting an incredible offense, and New Bern hanging on by the skin of their teeth. But now they have a chance to sneak this game in overtime and even up this series. Will they be able to do so?
It's open.
Oh my God, that was
comes
close.
in from stage left. That was looking dangerous, but Chicken, such a great setup player, has been doing a fantastic job of putting these balls on a platter for the rest of the team. Ooh, bit of awkward movement there from Vivid. Might cost you a bit of positioning.
Yeah, now we're seeing that ball kind of slow down again. Havelock trying to keep this attack going, and it looks like they will nearly working that pass to Gangi, but doesn't quite work out. But still in the corner of New Bern. They are still in danger. They need to get this ball out and surmount an offense of their own. Oh, it doesn't look...
These
look,
players...
It's insane, Havelock, the control they have of that midfield line.
Oh! It's insane how many goals Gangi can score without making it look like a problem. Chicken, such great setup, such great synergy between these two players, secures Havelock the next game as well. It was a fantastic effort from the opposition, but they just couldn't make it happen from New Bern.
Yeah, ultimately, look, Havelock just seem to have it in the bag when it comes to these clutch moments where it just all gels together for them. And you know, as we're looking at the score there, both of these teams, you know, having, I'd like to say, relatively even scores across the bat if you were to tally up all the scores together, and the statistics all relatively even. It's just what Havelock, as I was just saying there before they got that goal, it's their control of that halfway line, the fact that every clearance just seems to come right back to them and they can orchestrate some other sort of offense, whether it be a pass or a direct shot on goal, hitting it off the backboard. Havelock just seem to have it on lock when they get comfortable in that midfield zone.
And credit must be given to Havelock as well. Vivid stepping in for, I believe, Luna, a bit of a mid-set sub, and playing just as well for it. Always can be a bit hard when you're warmed up just directly from the bench into a high-stakes game like this. Performed very well for it. At the end of the day, New Bern, they showed what they've got. They have some really great bursts of aggression when all the pieces fit, but you just couldn't put the puzzle completely together this time.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, the way New Bern are playing on the overall, I don't think they could be too disappointed. I mean, maybe taking more opportunities, maybe making slightly more opportunities and having a little more control would be nice, but ultimately they've made the opportunities count where they can, and I think it is just a case of that level being slightly different. But they're definitely a team that could take any of these games from Havelock. Like, Havelock are beatable by the way that by the way that this series is going at the moment. New Bern just need a couple more things to start going their way.
Underdog does not mean over and out. They can definitely still take games. They can take the set as well, make their legacy here in these qualifiers. But they've got a bit more work to do. What do we think we need to see from New Bern change up to make sure we can surpass Havelock?
Well, to be honest, I think what would benefit them a lot is having those few moments of brilliance that Havelock seem to have in the bag with the chemistry that they have, and particularly with Gangi and the way that they're just able to get in and just seemingly score or get that vital touch in massive moments. New Bern haven't really had that. They've been consistent as a team, but with no real star player just having moments of awe, so to speak. And then just in general, I think getting control of that midfield line. We see them have a lot of demos in game number 1. They've had more demos in that game number 2. But I definitely think they need to keep them up. They need to disrupt the rhythm that Havelock have. They need to get them off that halfway line, start getting some boost control, and start being able to get up the map to just have some periods of sustained aggression themselves. Because otherwise, as we've just seen, Havelock, they get comfortable, they control that halfway line, and they just pick away and they pick at opportunities until eventually New Bern make a mistake. And New Bern, I think, just have to do almost the exact same strategy just against Havelock.
I think ET Void has been doing a really good job in terms of matching that aerial pressure from Havelock, but the rest of New Bern seems, in comparison to the boys in blue, want to keep their wheels a bit more on the ground. What kind of counter strategies can you take to a team that might just have a bit more technical finesse when it comes to aerial play?
I think you hit the nail on the head, is that you try to keep it on the ground, right? And I know it's hard to do that when you're playing defense because you're not really having that control of the ball. So if they can get that control, they can keep it on the ground more, or even just rely on counter attacks where they're rolling it on the ground. And we see moments where they nearly score with some really accurate hits. I think they just got to keep doing that and hopefully just orchestrate a little more of those moments for them and then have them go their way, because as we're literally seeing here, Havelock flying in the air and looking comfortable doing so. New Bern, they can't be going for those mile-high hits.
It's literally a circus between these guys. Weo comes in from the left on the trapeze, manages to save that one just barely. Do not want to let a sub-minute goal go in here for Havelock. It would be ruinous for your own mojo. But alive, at least for now. Gangi going in with that gusto that was so steep from them. Now we're playing on the roof. These members, no space knows no bounds. Weo trying to make it happen, but
Yeah, absolutely. And as the first minute passes, it is a stalemate again. We're seeing this ball up in the air. We're seeing a lot of aggression, and what we just discussed, this suits Havelock way more, it seems. Even though it's going back and forth, no one really looking in any immediate danger. But you see just little touches like that that send New Bern on the back foot, having to play into their own quarter. That's what Havelock bring to the table, where all of a sudden they nearly have a chance to strike themselves, and that just epitomizes the danger that they present in these games that New Bern has to try and avoid.
Exactly. Look at that. Chicken attempted to set up there, but still managed to overall retain ball control. And that one turnaround touch that we saw there from Gangi, expending so few resources, but getting so much mileage. That's what Havelock can be able to do. Take an inch and make a mile. EP Void trying to go the distance as well, but not going to be succeeding here. Havelock on the offensive. Cutthroat Bear's got to try to bat it away.
New Bern there nearly looked like they made a mistake in the defense, and Havelock will absolutely capitalize on that if New Bern aren't careful. Now Chicken is going up to try and get this clear, and again, look at this ball control in the air, just straight away into the opposition half, into the danger zone, into the corner. How's Gangi going to try and cross this? Again, just disrupting any flow that New Bern might have. They just cannot get a good clearance going.
That 50-50 didn't quite go the way of Chicken, though. Might not be quite happy about that. Gangi going to fall down as well. We're a good start for Boost here on some side of Havelock. They need to make sure they're getting back their resources to ensure they can mount that proper defense. Gangi can keep it low to the ground himself. Play the game that New Bern wants them to play and bring it back to their side of the goal.
Yeah, Gangi there just seems to have a different level of control. And Chicken as well with those little touches. And how many of those touches have we seen from Havelock all series that just seem to completely disrupt the positioning and rhythm of New Bern? And New Bern were very lucky that that shot wasn't entirely accurate, because they're really struggling in the back now. Havelock have them in a chokehold with 2 minutes left to go.
How many strokes of luck did you have, though? At a certain point, skills got to step up, too. Gangi on the offensive did get knocked out there for a bit. Those demos are coming in clutch, but now the ball perfectly poised and positioned for a goal. Best be careful. Get it out of there while you can. DC Boy can't block that one, and neither can the rest of New Bern. Get burned out. Havelock have another goal there, put up by Gangi.
Gangi, another moment of just aerial superiority. So accurate. Perfectly placed. New Bern, they were hanging on by the skin of their teeth for what feels like the last at least minute and a half, where Havelock just completely had them locked down in aerial offense. This New Bern answering back. This is what we said they need to do. Keep it on the ground, keep it quick, get aggressive, and orchestrate fast hitting counterattacks and catch Havelock on the back foot.
That is exactly what we saw, an action replay of what we saw game 2 as well, where you had Rio immediately off kickoff to send it. And if you can only get your goals off of those kickoffs, make sure it happens in the first 10 seconds, you're going to be in trouble like you are right now. Just up, get demoed instantly. Actually, no, Demo's EC Void could be troublesome now. Power play as Gangi moves on in. The real threat, Cutthroat there, rips out their throat.
I mean, Havelock themselves must be pretty frustrated at how the series has gone, in the sense of how close it's been, right? Because they have dominated so many of these games, but we've seen now 2 games in a row where they're sitting with not long left, and it 1-1, and they must be thinking, how is it 1-1? We have played this game far better, because both of these games have been 50-50, arguably maybe 60-40 towards Havelock having that extra skill, but game 3, Havelock clearly have been the better team, and that shows now as Gangi picks up another goal.
I've got to see that one again. Just slow rolled on in. No one quite had resources. ET Void trying desperately to fender bender that one on out, but it's not going to work. 1 minute left on the clock, but as we've seen from New Bern, they can make it work in 5. Gonna have to try for a big 50-50. It doesn't go their way. Hit center.
Yeah, I can't believe that goal went to myself. I was kind of a little bit in shock. Again, just New Bern not really set up on the defense, and with what we've said about Havelock is that they'll capitalize on a mistake, and that they're just really accurate with their awkward hits to catch players off guard and send them kind of the wrong way, and that just seems to be what happened as Gangi got a good goal, and now New Bern chasing this game with not long left to do it.
That was good solo play there, just by Lunar, able to keep it on this side of the field with against 3. Fantastic work. Chickeny comes down from down top. Doesn't quite make it happen, but 30 seconds left. New Bern are the ones with all the pressure on them. Uh-oh. Chicken is going to search for that goal. Not going to quite find it just yet, but the pressure still goes on. Gangi from on high. Beautiful setup for Chicken.
And they slam it down. Gangi just hanging in the air, putting it on a plate. And it's usually Chicken on a plate, but this time It was Chicken taking the opportunity that was on the plate, putting it in the back of the net. That was a bit of a long-winded one. I apologize for that one, but 20 seconds left. Havelock potentially putting the nail in the coffin here. Looks like they're about to take this series.
Has become the hunted. You never see a chicken stringing up the bear, but in this case, it might just be a different kind of nature documentary. Chicken tries to wing it. Uh-oh! I might have spoken too soon. The bear's got something to say about it. Don't poke this, man. You might just get bit. It's now 2-3. 8 seconds left. We've seen quicker goals.
Yeah, this bear has claws. 8 seconds left, as you said, and yeah, they can score their goals quick. And New Bern, they have to do it again if they want to take this to an overtime. The series hanging in the balance, but it does look like it's Gangy hanging in the air, running down this clock, and Havelock doing just enough to see them through and take this series 3-0. What a game 3 we just watched.
Dear God. Dear God, that was close. Hey, very, very firm kudos there to New Bern. They were playing up against a very solid technical team, and they had some solid technical play themselves. It's just, if I'm them, I'm looking to capture that aggression into a bottle, use it in the entirety of the game, not just off kickoff. You need to make sure you're taking full advantage of those demos that you're so great at piecing together. The unfortunate fact of it is, though, that Havelock just had the synergy, the precision to make it count.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. You have to give so much credit to New Bern for the way that they kept themselves in it, ultimately not being the better team at the end of the day, but the scoreline certainly doesn't reflect that in the way that they played. And then, of course, going over to the side of Havelock, they just were the better team at the end of the day. They had more control in the air, they had more moments of finesse and quality, and they made it count. Simple as that.
It's fantastic to see this level of play here from high school divisions. That is insane. I was definitely expecting some fancy flying, but not the kind of flip reset, Kunix hinge nonsense that these kids are putting up. Fantastic work here. Love to see it, Zep.
Yeah, absolutely. And as New Bern get back into another game now, straight away against Dixon. Gonna hope that maybe they've just learned a little bit after that previous game and be able to take it in here, maybe being a little warmer on the sticks. But of course, Dixon, they could bring something to the table here and cause a lot of trouble for New Bern, who will be looking to try and get a little bit of revenge after that last game.
That was some good shadow defense there by New Bern. Gonna be rewarded by a nice little stoppage, but gonna be continued offense here by Dixon. Interesting to see, once again, this game one dynamic. You gotta feel out each other's teams. Have to wonder, though, all being from the same region, have they scrimmed? Have they fought each other before? Might need to put up a big fight now. Nice demo there on the side of Dixon. Can you finish the job, though? It is. Doyle scores for 1.
New Bern, once again, not even a minute gone, and they are a goal down as Dixon really strong in the offense, getting a demolition in there and just putting New Bern on the back foot early doors. They were feeling each other out for the first 30 seconds, but Dixon, they sniffed an opportunity and they took a terrific goal to start off this game.
They're off from feeling him out to just punching him square in the face. Nice job there from Dixon, reversing that aggression that maybe New Bern's not quite used to. Uh-oh, best be careful now. Could be reversed on top of your head. Come on. Good attempt there. Defense can be bad away, but Boyd's on the prowl. Not quite enough. Finally, New Bern get a bit of a sigh of relief there. You can't let this lead extend too far.
Yeah, New Bern just need to find a way to take the foot off the pressure a little bit, stop Dixon from having so much control, and just have a breather so that they can go forward themselves and figure out what they want to do, because it's still such early doors in this game. But now Dixon again having another good moment of offense, and that was brilliant from them, but criminal from New Bern, just allowing themselves to be baited into the play a little bit, and then Dixon just lifting it over the top. Really well played from them.
I mean, Zoils put their life on the altar, and Nason just finished the job. That was fantastic work. Brilliant synergy shown there that, hey, if you're going to put down the torch because you're dead, I'll just carry it to the end for you, brother. Excellent work by Dixon. Put it up 2-0 New Bern, putting themselves in a familiar position, unfortunately, but they also are familiar with it because they know how to put these together and maybe mount a nice little comeback here. They're looking for aggression, but so far, Dixon have been pretty apt at returning that. Could be their chance back in. Weo gonna send it back to the corner.
Yeah, and just seeing the way that this game was playing, I mean, granted, we are only 2 minutes in, but New Bern just seem to be struggling with the offense that Dixon are mounting here. Ooh. As again, another opportunity that is so close yet so far. I mean, the way that we seen in that previous game, right, with Havelock and the way that they played, They were so up in the air and so technical against New Bern, but New Bern were pretty apt at being able to defend against it for the most part. But there's something about the way Dixon are playing this offense that New Bern just cannot seem to counter. And we see it again there as they go 3-0 down.
Demo for demo, goal for goal. Dixon are working their way up to a dominating lead here. There's 3 minutes about left on the clock. Plenty for New Bern to make something happen, but already losing that 50 on the kickoff where they've gotten the most of their offensive pressure. And Zoil is dropping from the wall like Spider-Man, looking to be grim picking.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head there that, you know, everything that we have seen from New Bern where they've posed a threat has been from a kickoff, and as soon as they lose that kickoff, then they really do not have as much of a statistical chance, should we say, of being able to pull something out of the bag with a goal. And Dixon just looking so comfortable in the way that they're playing, and New Bern just haven't really even had a moment to showcase what they're going to be able to bring to this game.
I mean, just you saw the way that Zoils felt so comfortable to bring the ball back to center field without an issue, just because your own team was waiting there to move it back down in a fantastic offensive position. Cutthroat Bear has been victim of these demos so many times. The Apex Predator's been knocked off the block, and Zoils might be looking to knock another goal in. Unfortunately, that pack is not going to quite earn it for you there. We against a bad play.
1 minute 45 left on the clock. It's Dixon looking really strong with the other offense. Are they going to sneak it in? They don't. Now ET Void going to try and get this clearance, but I think with the time that's left, New Bern would already be chalking off this game 1. They just need to try and find a strategy in some form they can take it to game 2, but if you have Zoil scoring goals like that, it's not going to happen for you.
Just no matter where the ball is placed, Zoils is able to meet it and hit it at the perfect, precise angle to make something of it. Now 1 minute and 30 seconds left. 4 goals to gain here. But hey, you're able to get it off every kickoff. Still a chance in hell for them to get it off. But without that, they might be in quite a bit of trouble. Con makes it 5. You're dirty.
It just keeps coming. New Bern completely collapsing as a defense here, and I think you have to give a lot of credit to Dixon for that. They're playing some terrific offense. Their positioning is immaculate. They're capitalizing on every opportunity. New Bern just really struggling to even hold a candle to these guys in the way that this defense offense is lining up at the moment.
Aerially, when you're on the ground too, Dixon just have a bit better movement, better cohesion. Cutthroat Bear, you can't get past that lone wall by yourself. There's no I in team, my friend, but there is in win, and right now with 1 minute left on the clock, Dixon looking to make sure that can happen. Doyle's back on defense with the faith in the team, moving down the sidelines. Could be trouble as Khan takes to the air, bounces right off the backboard, but in the corner it goes. Dixon just has control this entire game.
Yeah, Dixon just having complete control. There hasn't been a moment where New Bern have looked like they're really able to do anything, really, and that's just, again, so much credit to Dixon. New Bern just need to try and get themselves a goal. They need to give themselves something, as ET Void had a terrific shot there, really probably the best shot for them for the game. But again, yeah, they just need something on the scoreboard. You can have all these shots, but you need to have a reward for the opportunities. But it looks like Con nearly being able to score one there. Dixon, they're such a formidable opposition the way that they've played this game 1.
You see Cutthroat Bear, they're trying to work through the masses of Dixon's defense, but the issue is if you're just one lonely bear, you need your pack with you. Unfortunately, it'll look more like Cubs here as the game's timer ticks down to 0. Gets it up a little bit more. New Bern trying to make something happen here. Bear going to come in from the left side, but it sails into the sky. Going to be knocked right back down. Zoils not trying to let them have any consolation prize. Dixon, in fact, in a show of disrespect, might be trying for it. Con not able to con that one away. Dixon ends up going up 5-0 for game 1.
And that was just such a good performance from Dixon and Zoils in particular, with that hat-trick of goals, 3 goals from 4 shots, just getting on the end of everything, and just all the qualities we've seen of New Bern so far this evening have kind of just been snuffed out, really, by the display of Dixon, where all 4 of them just linking up so well, always having each other's back, and yeah, it's just a night and day performance, really.
You just can't complain about synergy like that, and I think that's where we're seeing issues. When New Bern take the offensive side of the field, when they take up the posts, it's one man strong. You're not seeing that passing game. We saw quite literally Zoils was packed was demoed, and Mason just picked the ball up, kept it rolling as if nothing changed, as if the same player grabbed the other controller. But it wasn't. It was two different players, but working through one mind, one body, one team.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, if you're the side of New Bern now, you know, obviously you're going into this game too. There's still a long series potentially ahead of you. You're looking at, you know, what can you change? What can you do better? And I don't know. I'm going to actually go to you in this one. I know I framed that like I was about to offer a bit of maybe insightful advice, but I have none after watching that game one. What can New Bern do different?
I mean, if I'm the troll on the log with my Riddles 3, my wisdom that I would give to my friends here in New Bern is work like a team. We need to be acting like that we're all in this together here. High School Musical logic here. I mean, they're in the right stage for it, so they need to start making sure that they're actually clearing each other, they're passing each other. These corners aren't just for good old hero plays. You need to make sure you're coordinating, because if you try to take up against all three of these members by yourself, make some grandiose hero play, it's not going to work. You're going to be met with Doyles, you're going to be met with Mason, and they're going to demo you, they're going to destroy you, they're going to demolish you. You need to make sure you're working more as a team, and this could be the start of something beautiful. New Bern already moving through the air a bit more gracefully here, but that's the issue. Dixon are masters of the air and the ground. It's going to be tough to match that kind of superiority.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Dixon is maybe just waiting for an easier opportunity to land at their feet. They probably feel like they can hold the defense relatively comfortably now going into this game too, so they're just kind of waiting. They waited that first 30 seconds, let New Bern play with the ball, and now all of a sudden we're seeing very similarly to what we've seen in that game one, just Dixon having control of that halfway line because they found an opportunity to get the ball, and New Bern just have to work so hard for every opportunity they can get themselves, because Dixon are just so good at snapping that ball back and setting up exactly how they want to.
Sometimes, though, when it's a 5-0 like we just saw, Zoils might be trying to repeat that kind of nonsense here. Set up beautifully, but thank God, bat away there by New Bern. Good defense. Sometimes the opposition is going to be a bit overconfident. Let them hang themselves out to dry. You need to try to maybe take advantage of their mistakes rather than making all the big plays yourself. Let them make the mistakes that become your plays rather than trying to be too proactive. Where you make mistakes like that one. Nathan cannot say the same. This man's play is picture perfect.
Yeah, just again, smelling blood, an opportunity, that ball coming across the face of goal, just too close to that New Bern line. And Nathan, the first one up there, setting it right in the back of the net. A brilliant goal. No one was saving that. And again, you know, Dixon, they just waited for that opportunity. And I feel like they're going into this one almost giving New Bern a sense of respect. They're not thinking they had an easy game one and then are going straight forward. They played it tentative. They waited for the opportunity. Ooh. But that was nearly an absolute mockery, and it gets sent in the end. And now that they've seen that New Bern is hurt, they're going for the kill. What a nice goal that was.
The Bears limping. It was caught in the trap. They're looking to put it down, but they still have signs of life. 3 minutes is still plenty for New Bern to mount an offensive and mount a comeback. There's a good start for you. Kickoff goes their way, but instantly bat away by Khan. And when they take to the sky, New Bern's a bit too afraid, and understandably so, to challenge them. You risk not only wasting resources, but wasting away another goal here. Zoils on the offensive takes out Rio just for added knock.
Yeah, and now again we're just seeing Dixon just have complete dominance. I've gone back to a lot that first minute where it was just a little bit tentative, and you thought maybe New Bern were going to have the chance to at least to create some opportunities. That has just been snuffed out completely, as Dixon just once again have taken complete control of this game too, and done so in such a way that I feel like it's going to sap the momentum of New Bern, because it's like they've just slowly enveloped them over this game, where as everything New Bern have tried is just getting less and less successful, and Dixon really have them in a chokehold now with just over 2 minutes to go.
Even in that position where they were able to move it downfield, you saw ET Void arrive to the corner with no boost to spare, and if you're being starved like that, you're going to have no energy. You need to get fed up, you need to get your carbs, you need to get your proteins in, you need to get those defensive plays. Good moves there by ET Void to make sure this doesn't get extended to 3, but they might be able to change that. Nice, they need to calm down. Save some goals for the rest of the team. Khan's going to try to do just that. Let the rest of the squad, I don't know. Dixon's getting greedy.
Yeah, I mean, Dixon, I think, are just sniffing out now the fact that they can create some individual glory moments for themselves, but then they can link together to send it right into the bottom corner with such ferocity and venom that No one once again is
Venom.
saving that.
That's those are the perfect words to use to describe that. Look at the way Khan just, again, was able to weave, bob, dodge, dip, dive, duck, and dodge, learning perfectly from Vince Vaughn in that movie to be able to secure that, make it 3-0. Cutthroat Bear, though, takes to the skies where no bears dared to tread before. Unfortunately, not able to finish the job. Weo comes in, eats the Void right afterwards. It's a clown car, but Cutthroat Bear puts one up for New Bern.
And New Bern, credit to them, getting a goal back. We see them use that type of tactic a lot in what we've seen of them so far, putting it up against the backboard with Cutthroat Bear, trying to get in there and send it down. Usually has been missing it, but at this time it just kept going back off that backboard until they had an opportunity to put it in the back of the net. Bit of a one-dimensional offense tactic that hasn't worked too well, but this time it came out on top for them, and that's exactly what they needed to maybe rescue this series, just at least get a goal on the board.
I mean, we have some signs of life here. New Bern has not thrown in the towel yet, and I love to see that. You need that conviction, that gumption to stand up against someone who, at this point, has been just so dominant. But Doyle's going to try to stamp out those embers of rebellion to the best of their ability. The issue with hedging all your bets. Oh, they might be doing it just perfectly, though. Eat the Void. Going to make that void between the score gap slowly disappear. Now it's only a 1-goal differential. Kingston looks scary. Here's up.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give full credit to New Bern. They're taking these opportunities, but these are opportunities that are being gifted to them by Dixon from what I would say is none other than complacency. They're not defending that back line. They're not sitting a last man back. They're just thinking that they might have this game or this series under wraps, and I think in Rocket League that is such a massive mistake to make, because if you're any team, you can bring it to the table on the day if you're all of that certain skill level, and New Bern have shown again just glimpses of that fire. And Dixon shouldn't underestimate it, but maybe now that there's only a goal difference in it, they'll start to lock up again.
Cutthroat Bear's been snuffed out. Now need to rejoin the game here while they try to mount their offensive pressure. 20 seconds on the clock. Khan going to try to scheme this guy away from them. It's looking to be a close one. Here comes Weo. Not able to secure that corner center. Now with 9 seconds left, you know that Dixon's going to be stalling this one out. Nason with some fancy flying moves, but ET Void gonna meet him in the skies. Now it's trying to make something happen here. It's all on the hood of your car. Batted away by Dixon for the victory.
Yeah, Dixon doing well to get that clear in the end. When there's someone sitting with the ball on top of their car with 1 second left, you can get a little bit afraid, but Dixon just made sure to swat that one back down and see this game out. 3-2. Way closer than it should have been. Dixon, I think you could argue, getting a little bit complacent, but all credit to New Bern for keeping in the game, keeping their heads held high and chasing down those opportunities to make that scoreline closer, because that's the mentality you need if you want to try and pull a series back.
That's exactly what you're looking for. I mean, Dixon were feeling themselves a little bit. They're getting gassed up, but eventually your boost runs out. You got nothing left in the tank. You're going to get some goals dropped on your head top. New Bern are nothing to slouch at. These are not JV leagues. These are really talented players that have tested and perfected their craft. They are going to take advantage of it if you decide to give them some room to wiggle around in. So, Dixon, hopefully they're going to tighten up. Don't be too complacent. Don't get too calm. Don't get lulled into that false sense of security, because you might get whacked on the head by a bear.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, it's a momentum game as well. If New Bern continue to capitalize on some complacency in the side of Dixon going into a game 3 and picking up that win, that can start to have a snowball effect where there's maybe some turmoil in the Dixon camp. You know, they don't start linking up as well, and again, more things for New Bern to capitalize on. So I think if Dixon were clever, they're just going to make sure to see this one out here. They've seen what can happen if they switch off a little bit and how New Bern can make it close, so they'll just make sure not only to play their best Rocket League in terms of offense, but just play the safe Rocket League in terms of defense. Do the basics right, get your formations set up, get your rotations down to a T, and just keep a sustained offense that doesn't give New Bern an opportunity.
If I'm New Bern, I'm cutting Nason's brake lines. I'm making sure that car cannot stop. I'm sending it into the wall, so that way we don't have to worry about that monster anymore. But right now, New Bern looking like a whole new team, keeping up this offensive pressure, but unfortunately missing a few of those key touches that we saw executed by Gangi and by Nason prior when set up. Wheel was just not able to meet the mark. Nason now dropping in from on high. Hopefully those brake lines are cut. You've done your duty. New Bern can be able to clear it away.
Yeah, but again, we did kind of see this in game number 2 where Dixon just for that first 30 seconds to a minute, weren't fully on it, didn't have full control because they just waited for an opportunity to present itself for them to get control of the game. And now that a minute is gone, if you give credit to New Bern, they're mounting those offenses, but as you see, the clinical nature just isn't there to the same level as Dixon. And now with a minute gone, maybe they're going to start switching on and mounting an offense of their own. But in saying that, across the goal, New Bern, credit to them. Good offense so far.
That was a good pinch there, but just didn't quite have the follow-up off it. Now Nathan dribbling it in. Beautiful disengage there. Try to save it, but now off the backboard here. In a bit of trouble here if they're able to finish the job. But on dropping too far back to the rather rounders a boost. Rio playing a bit in the sky, gonna be able to stall it, but not before they're taken out from behind instead. Repair needs to make up for that loss of the fallen member, try to avenge their death. Wio, to their credit, now trying to play in the sky a bit more and doing a great job at it. Moves it down to the corner now.
Yeah, absolutely. New Bern have shaken up the way that they play a little bit, and it is working. They're just actually getting involved in the air, but completely falling asleep in the defense, it seems. I don't know if someone was maybe knocked out of the way, but just kind of been walked into an open goal there by Nason.
Cut the brake lines. I'm telling you, someone's got to get on this. That's the best hope that New Bern's got. But no, fantastic play there by Nason. Able to take it slow when necessary, but also able to really just pump up the speed and crank the mileage when it's also called for. Oil's now trying to show their own fancy feet here. Fantastic movement, but out of boost, out of room to play with on the defensive end there. You can't have those solo plays. Like you said, you need to have some teamwork and coordination. Tepper going to have to learn that lesson. Oh! That was a close call.
And, you know, I gotta say on that last goal as well, just looking back at that footage, I think that Cutthroat Bear was knocked out of the goal for that walk-in. I don't think it was a lapse of concentration. I think Dixon, again, they just made sure to open that pathway, and that just, again, gives so much credit to them in terms of their coordination, how they know, right, I'm going to go for a dribble run now, I'm going to get in there and make sure that there's a clear run for my teammate. And that's just the levels we're talking of here, just that coordination. It's honestly something that I just so admire because I know I'll never be able to do as a Rocket League player.
And these guys are in high school. They would absolutely drive circles around me. I don't even know how to do an aerial. It's genuinely super impressive to see here from these players. And we're only in the qualifiers right now. Dear God. But 2 minutes left on the clock. Anthony's starting to get too big for our britches just yet. So plenty of playtime here for New Bern to mount that so tantalizing comeback here. Nice demo to maybe kick things off. Move it downfield. Cutthroat Bear looking for blood. Not going to find it.
Yeah, nice shot from Cutthroat Bear. Maybe not clinical enough in the sense of sending it to the corners, and I know that may seem harsh, but with the level of the opposition you're playing against, that's just what you need to do. But it was good clearance nonetheless. Now with a minute 40 left, Dixon holding on to this 1 minute lead. But a way more even game all around. Other than that goal, I think New Bern have really held into this one, and I think throughout this series have just improved a lot.
Ooh, that's some great play there by ET Void, predicting where the ball would drop on the backboard. But it's play we've actually seen from Dixon, so learning a bit from your opponents. But Dixon not once to be denied, going to try to take it to the backboard once again. Wadded out. It's been a bit of a back and forth one. ET Void trying to find positioning here. Maybe drop it down for a nice and clean center. Not going to be denied. It's going to be denied as well, though. Dixon just trying to make sure they can put this one down and out. They want that 2-goal differential. New Bern are trying to make sure they can't have it and keep hope alive.
Yeah, New Bern, hope alive, I think, is the number one thing they'll be thinking now. They still have that hope. They still have a chance to rescue this series, but it would be from the definition of the depths, and it isn't going to happen if Nason sniffs blood and gets the shot off to Con. It's off the post, but Royals popping it in, and that was a brilliant counter-attack from Dixon. Nathan with the cross, Con with the shot, and then Zoil's in with the finish. The triplets of teammates coming in to get the job done and go 2-0 up.
I think that goal is just the epitome of what makes Dixon's play so fantastic. It's that tight coordination. You know, it's the first thought to just make that pass, the beautiful shot on there from Khan, but then Zoil's recognizing the job wasn't done yet, finishes it off with a bit of flourish. Fantastic work. Now 30 seconds on the clock. They're looking to just stall out some time, not let New Bern's aggression even get one goal for the board. And if that happens, it's lights out. Hopefully New Bern have got the final players to show their talent here. Gonna pick the guys, but Will's gonna try to meet him right back. Like 10 seconds about left. There's a good shot, but denied by Nathan, the spoiler. Cut the brake lines. You still have a few more seconds left. It's off the backboard. Khan's gonna look to finish the job, but no. Stalling out for one more. trying just to put up one if they can, but Mason's not going to let it happen. Toys with the food just a bit more before the ball sails back down to the ground. At this point, Dixon have been declared victorious, but it's just only inevitability when the actual fat lady stings here. New Bern sailing in the air a little bit. It's a bit of a Ski World show, but I can only imagine it's just a
Come on, people, we have places to be. As Nixon, or Dixon, should I say, not Nixon, Dixon take the win in the end 2-0. And look, that game 3 was really entertaining to watch. Way closer. New Bern kept themselves in it really well, but Dixon just orchestrating some 2 really nice goals where it just came together for them as a team. And I think that's just been the epitome of the series where, you know, even in those 1% moments where New Bern look like they have a chance, Dixon just show why they're the better team, whether it just be moments or how they play all together. Just a top level performance.
Dixon's a threat, and I'm going to be looking to see them in the future sets here, especially if I'm anyone standing up against them. But right now, we got another set here for us. Northside up against Washington County here. Going to be interesting to see how this fresh batch of players plays out, because we don't know any of these guys, but Thick's going to make the name known. Fantastic goal, sub 1 minute, 20 seconds in. Northside coming in big.
Yeah, I'm throwing into the deep end of this one. I haven't even read the player's name yet, and there's a scoreline on the board. But a fantastic goal, 20 seconds in, Northside. Again, you know, we always talk about these game ones and these teams just looking to feel each other out. But if you have a moment, take it. And Northside certainly did with that one to go 1-0 up.
And that's got to feel a bit oppressive, especially when it's falling right up. Maury, fantastic goal there by Northside.
Another goal. Again, I still haven't gone through all the names, what complicated names we got here, but it is Maury, as you said, getting that one. And Washington County just have not had a moment to breathe here. Only 28 seconds into the game and just haven't had a lick of an opportunity. Of course, they'll be looking to change that now as they maybe mount a bit of an offense of their own. Could we be seeing a really high scoring affair here? It looks like both of these teams are just going to ditch defense and go straight for all-out offense. Oh my
Look at
God!
These high-flying moves! Cavs season makes it rain on ya. 3-0 in less than a minute. Dear God, Zep.
Oh, well, I think Washington County must be getting really scared here because they've not really touched the ball, and we've already seen all types of goals come out from the side of Northside. I mean, maybe Washington County can bring it to the table. We haven't even seen what they could do on an offense yet, but that is just credit to Northside starting off on the strongest of foots and intending to keep that going, as only 1 minute has gone by here, but they're 3 goals deep.
And that is a deep well to work your way out of. Kev just menacingly staring you down as Washington County try their best to clear it, but not going to be allowed to. Thick trying to thicken the lead that they've already built up for themselves. It's quite a bit they have to work through, and also some heavy boost disadvantages that they're also working through. Lucidity Dreams just only managing to grab that 100. They're getting starved out in terms of both points and the fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not going well for Washington County at all, but in saying that they have a shot, it's, oh my God, how did that not go in? Oh, it's not your day if those aren't going in.
That's just a heartbreaker. At that point, you just got to wonder if the programmers have got something against you. Someone might have rigged this. Again, cut break lines. I am not above some dirty play here. But right now, Northside is playing dirty. That just was unfortunate. And we are really playing for blood now. Just a lot of demos on each side. High flying, high octane, mock speed action.
Yeah, I mean, this game has been so intense, incredibly fast-paced. We thought we saw fast-paced with the previous series we were watching. Not at all. Both of these teams are going at it 100 miles an hour, but just so far, it's been all working in the favour of Northside as they look to mount another attack. Kev in the air, but not getting it seen through some good defence in Washington County, as maybe it looks like they've calmed down on that back line a little bit.
You know, I think they've actually recognized the assignment, and they're going to come back and do their homework. Alexa's biggest fan made a fan out of us there, puts Washington County on the board.
Whew, and it was just that last little touch to poke it right over the 2 incomers. That was a great little goal from Washington County, and exactly what they needed, because look, they managed to clean up that defense just a little bit, and they had to then show a little bit of offensive prowess. Ooh. And they did. They're potentially going to be able to get the second into the top bins.
Alexa, you're crazy. Less than 10 seconds on in. She's not just understanding the assignment. They're acing it. Fantastic work to Washington County. Makes it 2-3.
Well, blink and you'd miss it, folks. If you came into this series, you went to get a cup of tea and it was 1-0, 2-0. You're coming back to a 3-2 affair here. I mean, this series, this game could go absolutely anywhere with the way these teams have been playing. This is crazy to watch.
I think it genuinely is. They understand the assignment. Alexa, please, you've already passed. You don't need the extra credit. Lucidity trying to show their own stuff, but unfortunately just doesn't have the gumption of their teammate. But I think Washington County now recognizing Northside are going to full send it. We'll play that game right back at you. And they're doing it to beautiful success here. They just need to keep up that pressure, and all of a sudden it might be an even game. Kev, though, trying to deny them that. Thick lurking in the back lines, not able to make anything happen.
Yeah, a couple of opportunities coming in, but it's Gothic sending it into the bottom corner. And that's going to be a real momentum killer for Washington, pulling themselves back into this one, only to have a goal go in, which, credit to Northside, it was an accurate shot, but was far from the best shot that we've seen of this entire game so far. So maybe a little deflating for Washington.
I'm deflated. That made a liar of me. I thought Gothics was just lurking there just for loitering's sake. But no, fantastic positioning at the very least. Can't deny that. Making sure to just wait until they were needed and called for, and they answered. Going to be doing a little bit of turtling there as a celebration. But now Northside feeling a bit more comfortable. 2 goals is certainly a lot better to have on your side than 1. But Alexa might have something to say about it. Hat trick there for Washington County.
Alexa, biggest fan. Well, I am becoming Alexa's biggest fan's biggest fan, as that is sent right into the bottom corner from over the top underneath. It's like you're tying shoelaces with the way you're controlling that ball in the air. And Washington County only one goal behind with a minute and a half to go.
Nah, man, the way that they're making it look, it's as easy as Velcro. Gonna try for another one. Don't let him do it. Come on. Stop denying Washington these goals. That's 2 now. Who's responsible? I want to know. Kev's going to be trying to reverse that pressure just off the post, but you have friends to help you out. That's the power of friendship right there. Gothic's going to make it 5-3.
Oh, this game's too hectic. I can't keep up. After all that, then we're just seeing like another open goal. That's because everyone's just flying around going so crazy. I mean, I know a little, maybe a little on the nose to say, but this is Rocket League, right? This is the definition of it. Fast-paced, high-intensity, high-quality play with offense on the both ends, and just with a minute left to go. Still 2 goals in it, but no clue where this one's going to go.
It could absolutely still be Washington County's way. They could go up 3 goals, and I would still say the same. But Alexa's biggest fan, no longer playing Mr. Nice Car, going to be looking for the offensive. Zoe's going to be trying to put that up as well. Fantastic work here from Washington County to keep up their moxie. They're not going to let the scoreboard tell them how to play. They're going to keep sending it. But going to get sent right back down. Gothic's going to send it back into the net. Makes it 6-3.
And look, you'd like to think with 36 seconds left and a 3-goal difference that Northside have potentially done enough to take this game 1, but I don't know. I really don't know.
It's winnable. I say it's winnable. If Alexa is playing, it's winnable. Come on, here they come from center field. Not going to be able to make it happen. The 50-50 going to be loosed out there. It's a bit of a stalemate, but a stalemate is winning here for Northside. They just need to stall out any of this pressure that Washington County have been able to accrue. Be some troublesome there. Oh, unfortunately, lucid dreams. A bit more of a nightmare as Kev puts another one in.
Well, someone must have told him that the ball is lava because he avoided it expertly to let that one roll in, and Northside taking this one with potentially Washington County conceding defeat in this game number 1. I'd like to think that's why that one went in. But man, what a game 1 we're after seeing. I mean, where does this series go?
Oh, Jesus. Oh my God. Where does it go? I don't know. Any direction, up, down, north side. Could be Kev trying to make it happen once again. 3 seconds left on the clock. At this point, batted back down. Let the bloodshed stop. Northside takes game 1.
Well, I need to see these stats. I'm as curious as anyone. Alexa with 878 points, 3 goals, 9 shots, and 3 saves. And then Kev on the other side for Northside, 819 with a 2 and 2, and then 5 shots as well. God, what a game we're after watching. I can't believe that the other 2 players in Washington County were more involved on the score side of things, because they kept themselves in it really well.
Dear God. That was disgusting. That was disgusting to watch. The scoreboard does not at all reflect how dangerous this game got. it can get so out of control within seconds that 7-3 does not even begin to capture the up and down nature of the roller coaster that was just game one. And this is a best of 5, Zep. God save our soul.
Yeah, I mean, if you were to try and create a scoreline that reflects the insanity of that game and how close it was, you would say maybe like 4-3, right? Because like it was just one of those games where it's like 2 goals counted for 1. You could not feel safe with like a 2-goal advantage by any means. Like Northside, even though when they were 5-3 up, Washington County just had every opportunity to come back in that one within like a minute, which I think there was only a minute left in that time, and we were both sitting here saying it's absolutely possible. And if you'd compare that to the rest of the series we've covered on this broadcast, I mean, 1 or 2 goals, you'd think that's the game's mostly locked up. That just shows the difference level in regards to intensity. And yeah, absolutely no clue where this series goes. Northside could very easily start off on the same foot, but going into game 2, Washington County might be able to show us what they're made of now, and not just Alexa, but all 3 of the players.
Dude, you said you don't feel safe at less than a minute. I don't feel safe in my own home right now. I'm worried that Alexa might just run me over with a Tonka truck at any point that I'm casting this. And that just goes to show the explosive potential of Washington County. Like you said, not just Alexis. To be able to make those plays happen, you need to have trust and confidence that your team is there, having your back. So credit still does go to Zoe and Lucid Dreams. Hopefully, it's going to be able to maybe up on the score, assist on the offensive end as well. And that just might be the difference to clinch a victory over Northside.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think just looking at the size of Northside as well, one thing we need to note, because you did note it at one point in the game, how many demolitions did we see coming in? Gothic, 5 demos just coming in, ending lives. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Like Northside, I think, just as a unit, you know, Washington County, they had their moments with Alexa just absolutely popping off. Brilliant player. But Northside, just as a whole, as a unit, just came across as so dominant in such a crazy fashion. Like, I almost wonder would they be able to play the same way if the game slowed down, if they played against a far more controlled side who just kind of killed the game and played on a counter-attacking effort, because Northside just seem to be reveling in the way that this series is going right now.
Gothics does not want to kill the game. Gothics wants to kill anyone on the enemy side. And right now, Northside are trying to kill it in the beginning. Already a demo on the board. Alexa has a target on their head. Evan's going to try to make that target the goal, but not going to succeed quite yet. It's already looking to be an explosive one.
Yeah, straight away out of the gates, starting with a certain ferocity that I feel like only this series could really provide. And as it goes back and forth, both of these teams looking to carve an early opening, an early lead. Northside, again, we're going for this goal, and you cannot feel safe at a goal. It is like a third of a goal, really. You need to be 3-0 up before you can maybe stop holding your breath on any of these sides, but nearly a minute gone already, and it started off very intense, but maybe slowing down just a little bit now as both of these teams try to figure each other out. Oh my God. What a pass that was, though.
That was scary for a second there, and now it's back on Northside's side. They got to make sure they're being a bit careful here, but met in the air, and now Maury's going to try to pass it down to Kev. Put down in the corner, but in a bit of an awkward position. Alexa's on the chase. Going to be able to clear that with ease off the back wall.
Yeah, Alexa then trying to mount the counter-attack, just couldn't stretch out enough to get that second touch to send it goal bound. And now Maury up with the counter-attack for Northside, and that is, I believe, I don't know if it was saved or went up against the wall, but of course, who else is it that's there? It's Alexa all over the pitch. And a shot coming in for Washington!
Lucid Dreams to follow it up. That's the dream we wanted to see. Alexa sets them up. The rest of the team knocks them down. Washington County make the lead happen.
Whew, minute and a half gone. It is Washington County getting that first goal, and you know, maybe that's what they need. Northside kind of blindsided them the first time round. Now with Washington County getting a bit of a lead, maybe they chase that next goal straight away, or maybe they try and lock up that defense a little bit, try and maybe slow down the game and counteract Northside, or Northside come back and nearly score straight away, and actually said they actually do just score straight away. 1-1.
Open net, open season, easy pickings. Northside going to make them pay for their carelessness. Washington County, I think, have answered your question of, do we decide to lock up defense? Nope. We keep on sending it to the wall. Washington County going to pay for that now with a 1-1 game here. But if they can keep up the pressure, as long as they can keep that momentum going, they stand a shot. If they've got Alexa on their side, censored beautifully, but no one to match that pressure. Kev's gonna bring it right back downside. No boost, no problem. Ooh, Alexis comes in from the left.
Honestly, I just can't believe that Washington County let themselves have an open goal after all that effort they went to score themselves, and now Northside chasing a bit of that momentum themselves, and they're looking really dangerous on this offense as it continues to mount. But Washington are getting it clear. Maybe going to mount a counter of their own. I mean, this series is just bonanzas. It's hectic. It really could go either way.
Alexis is just hogging the spotlight, even when it's on someone else's cam, still trying to sail through like a dolphin. Oh my gosh, crazy. Lucidi Dream's gonna challenge that corner, but with no boost, doesn't have quite so much energy to do much about it. Here to center, characteristic miss there for Northside, now having to retreat back. Oh, the members of Washington County sending all three to this left side. It's centered, but for no one, and now Kev's on the offensive. Lucidi gonna be able to put it up a little bit, stall that pressure that they were mounting, but now it's going hurtling right back into an open goal again. Gothic, thanks for your trouble.
Gothic always just seems to be on the right end at the right time. A little bit unfortunate for Washington County, but look, both of these teams have been making moments for themselves. We haven't had a moment yet where just a little bit of luck has come into the equation, and this time the luck falls to the side of Northside, as it's just a nice pinch that goes in and makes it 2-1, but tends to be made 3-1 here. As Kev dancing on him on the back line.
We can say the last one was luck. That one was nothing but technical patience and skill. Beautiful tap, beautiful touches, beautiful dribbling. Northside danced their way to 3-1.
And Northside, you know, once we've seen them go a few goals up, they just seem to keep how dangerous they are, right? They just seem to be able to, as soon as they concede, get another goal back or keep up the momentum. We haven't really seen it yet where Washington County's been able to proper even up a game or even take the lead after Northside go a couple of goals up. So I'm wondering now, do Washington have it in them with just a minute 40 to go as they look to hit this as an offense? And it is Alexa on the ball. Oh. Maori in with the defense. Washington looking to chase in, but it's not there. Now Northside with the counter-attack.
Alexa going to stop that with the quickness, but with no boost, that offensive pressure is going to be going nowhere. Kev, such a beautiful tactical player, going to be stomped out there by Zoe, but sailing back in. Not quite happy about this one. This high-flying show going to be stopped at the pit. Drifts on over Gothic. We're tired of you scoring. How about you take a skill pill for just a moment? Alexa's got to retreat back.
Yeah, and I think a big difference maker as well in this series so far has been that Alexa's been the only one for Washington really pulling the weight, and we see it again there as Alexa with a minute left on the board capitalizes on a bit of a lackadaisical play from Northside to make it only a 1-goal deficit, 3-2.
I mean, Alexa's just everywhere. You cannot think that you're safe in any part of the map. I think that they're retreating back for some boost. Oh, no, all of a sudden they scored a goal. Kev, though, going in with fancy feet. Gonna try to put on some hero plays. Not gonna quite succeed, but they've got time to spare and a goal on their side as well. Washington County need to find some string to connect them into keeping a nice side set for themselves. You don't want to let Northside go up 2-0 because they know how to keep a lead here. But we got 30 seconds left. Let's be tight.
And Alexa really is everywhere. I mean, I have a window beside me with the blinds down, and I'm scared to open it because Alexa could be there, right? Because Alexa just seems to be everywhere at this moment in time. And now with 20 seconds left on the clock, Northside just trying to, as you said, maintain this lead, going up with an offense of their own. And of course, the more that ball's in the air, the safer it is for them, as Washington maybe have a chance to mount a final offense to take it to overtime.
You gotta put it in Alexa's wheels. You gotta put it in the treads, but Gothic's instead gonna be the one putting some final toe tattoos on it. It's only 1 second left. Going down the side though, Northside, best be careful, but Alexa's been wiped away, and their chances as well. Northside, game 2.
And again, massive credit to Northside, the way that they played there as a team. They are phenomenal, and it also seems like as well they really have recognized who the danger player is for Washington County in Alexa's biggest fan. 545 points compared to the rest of their teammates with a goal, an assist, shots, saves, demos, the whole lot. Alexa was just on the board, ever present, everywhere on the pitch, and consistently dangerous, but Northside managing to keep them nullified and keep that scoreline in their favor.
If you can just keep up that pressure, it doesn't matter how great and how explosive your team is. They never, beyond that one moment of insecurity in the beginning where they went down 1-0, they quickly regain momentum. Northside don't really seem phased by these tricks that Washington County is pulling off because they know what it all rests on the head of. It's Alexa's biggest fan. Lucidity Dreams put in that one goal, but beyond that, they just couldn't quite show for the offensive and defensive pressure that Alexa's biggest fan provides. I'm looking for Washington County to really buck up, make sure that those treads are nice and new, shiny. You need to get in there with a good mentality. You're not down 2. It's just a regular game of Rocket League. We got to play with some solid defense. Please, no open nets.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% in that one. Like, you're just at a point where Washington County, they have to take it one game at a time. You can't think about a series. You can't think about the overarching of what's going on. You have to take it moment by moment, play by play, do your basics right, and maybe just accept that in this moment, Alexa's the one that's absolutely carrying you through. And as long as the rest of you as teammates get the basics done right, Alexa's going to be the one able to pull up the moments. As long as you're defending well, making sure that ball's getting cleared to a good extent and giving room for Alexa to play their best Rocket League, then maybe you have an opportunity. But you also got to look on their side. They need to start playing some dirty Rocket League. They need to go in for some demolitions. They need to nullify Northside, specifically Gothic, who, you know, maybe just isn't the best player on the team in terms of skill, but just always seems to find themselves at the end of these vital moments, you know, where Kev has put the ball up, where Mari's put that ball up in the air. It's always Gothic that just seems to be there putting the final touches on things, or the most dangerous touches. So Washington just got to get in there and just try and nullify some of the threats that Northside have.
Just from where we're seeing in the commentators booth, Kev, what they really seem to specialize in is those beautiful dribble ins and just complete amazing technical showcases where I can take it down from center field myself, 1v3. I'm able to dance around you like we're tangoing right now. But on the other hand, Gothic is really a master of positioning, always seeming to be in that advantageous, opportunistic position to make something happen where you otherwise wouldn't expect it. This could already be a very unfortunate case to exemplify that. Gothic, though, going to be turned away by Washington County's defense.
Yeah, Washington County holding on for the moment as Northside look to start quick. Once again, Maori flying through the sky. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's Maori. And no goal going in as of yet, but once again, really close with these first 25 seconds past. It's been all Northside, but Washington County mounting a quick counter-attack and being too far up the pitch. And who else capitalizes on that other than Alexa's biggest fan?
Alexa's gonna use you as the final touch. Thanks for that, Maury. Appreciate it, my friend. That's gotta be demoralizing. But hey, we've seen Northside out bat an eye at this before. They need to make sure that Washington County are not leaving their goal open for anything too easy at this point, like Northside just did there. That was a bit dangerous. That demo didn't come through, but now they remain on the up and up. Should be troublesome, centered beautifully, but no one there to follow up. No, he's been taken out.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the side of Northside, the absolute last thing you want to do is get any way complacent, because you're 2-0 up. But you have to remember, both of these games have been incredibly close due to the intensity. You cannot take your foot off that gas pedal whatsoever. You need to keep your dominance going in this series. Every player needs to keep playing at 100%, because that is what this level needs if you want to stay in it.
Look at that, just brilliant, patient play there from Alexa, waiting off that back wall to just drop down like Spider Monkey. Just descends perfectly, once again, always active position to stop any offensive threat from Northside, but it's just not enough. This salvo of shots is coming from them. It's baffling them, it's confusing them, it's set up beautifully, but no one's there to meet it.
Yeah, and now it is just Northside having that offense that's working for them, and Washington kind of chasing, but Washington can afford to chase at the moment, being a goal up, and this is a position they haven't really found themselves in, where they've kind of had the lead and had a bit of control of it for at least a minute, and Northside find themselves for the first time on the back foot. Ooh. But it doesn't seem to be phasing them, as they're setting these shots up, and they're asking a lot of Washington County on each offense here.
But it's okay. Alexa's got a bit of boost to spare, but you need a bit more resources. Deciding to prioritize retreating on back does get that 100. It's going to be incredibly pivotal for this next onslaught that Northside provide. A big dedication there from Maury's going to go a bit wide left. And now the pressure's back on Northside. Not where they want to see it. Drops on down. Kev, though, got something to say about it. Bats it beautifully above the head of his defense. And now going for those beautiful touch-ups. Not going to be able to piece it in. Gothic, though. You opportunistic lucky duck gets the goal to even it up.
Well, I mean, it's exactly what we've said. The technical play from Kev being the outstanding technical side of things for Northside, should I say. Could have put that together a little better. And then it's just Gothic at the end up, you know, just getting in there and finishing the opportunity off. Kev made that goal. Gothic was there to see it through, to tie this game up at 1-1 with just 2.5 minutes left to go. This is the series, or this is the game, I think, in the series where it's been really close and even, where it hasn't been as frantic. It's just been a way more tactical nuance back and forth.
We're seeing Washington County really buck up on defense where they've really had their faults show so far. And Alexa's got an open goal. Ooh, a nice simple straight shot's going to be met with a nice simple straight block. But the offense is still coming. And Washington County is going to try to keep their resources up. Look at those boost meters. We're all sitting pretty. Alexa's going to be able to get it right back in. You do have Kev in goal waiting for Alexa to try to drop down some fancy moves. Going to be denied that one. Fantastic defense from Northside.
Yeah, Alexa nearly scoring a beautiful goal, but Northside looking confident in the defense, getting it clear and getting back up on that offense as they try to get a second. And it's Kev heading it home to give Northside the lead once again. Minute 40 left to go. And Washington County now find themselves chasing this game to stay in this series.
Alexa there deciding to drive on that wall is unfortunately a bit too much of an overcommittal, and that's going to be something that Kevin, with that technical awareness, can recognize, jukes around it, swerves it into the goal with ease. And now, because this game's been slower in terms of that explosiveness of the scorecards, it's going to mean you only have a minute 30 to do something about it. Might just be what you need. It's going to be a bit far right, though, for Alexa. Unfortunate. The rest of the team there to support, but can't stall out all of their momentum for now. Kevin going to get control of the ball. Kicks it over, Alexa said.
Oh, just once again, Kev just shining in this technical play and even, you know, basing them into the clearance, just constantly just creating plays that make Washington County question what they're doing, and nearly scoring there, but now back up, cleared for the counter-attack. Can Alexa capitalize? It's a good clearance by Kevin. Kev really has been that star technical player for Northside.
Oh, what were you saying? Sorry, Kev. It's all gonna be for naught. Thanks for setting it up for me, buddy. Big appreciation here from Alexa as they bat it in to make it tie game.
Just how is it always Alexa? Like, no matter where it goes, what happens, what's going on in life, it's Alexa there just getting the job done. It's crazy, but all credit to Alexa for seeing that one off. Fantastic
goal.
goal.
Maury. Oh, no. Oh, Kevin finishes the job.
Kev gets the revenge.
Oh, man. Finally, you guys don't need my help. It's going to be a nice scoot tap there from Maury and finished off there by Kevin.
And that's just how Northside seem to have been scoring all their goals. They get a player in a position that just makes life difficult enough for enough of the Washington County players that it's always left exposed in the end up. As Kev trying to get another goal, we're just seeing examples of where a player gets it, two of the Washington County players have to commit, and in that committing, Northside are just able to hit the ball, whether it be a shot or whether it be a pass, and just have a player ready right there for that deflection goal. It's just been brilliant from Northside in this game.
30 seconds left. We're all rooting for it in our hearts for Alexa to make something happen with zero boost. Slim pickings managing to grab that 100. Now fueled up, ready for action, but Joey's been knocked out by Maury. But look who's in the sky! Alexa, you're crazy! 3-3 for Washington County.
Alexa, the newest Marvel superhero, absolutely saving the day again for Washington. Handing them a lifeline, throwing them a bone. But with 18 seconds left and it's still all even, is it going to be enough for them to stay in this series?
Don't even disrespect Alexa by putting them in the Marvel Phase 3. They are way better than that. They're prime Marvel. This is some endgame stuff right now. We are in the endgame now. 4 seconds on the clock. Alexa looks for the pinch. They're looking to end it in OT. This is a crazy one, Zep.
Yeah, finally we're seeing it go right down to the wire, which I think this series has definitely deserved a game that goes down to a tight and tense overtime, where Alexa's just absolutely been carrying the flag for Washington, but Northside played well as a team.
Who
is it? Who is
it? Beats it out in OT.
Oh, just Alexa, just oh my God, I'm speechless. I'm speechless. What, like, why always you? It's always you. You're just there, keeping them in the 990 score. Oh my God. Hey, you know, everyone else in Washington County, feel free to spawn in. That's all I'm going to say. Feel free any day now. Oh my God. I mean, you were going to say, like, how much can one player do to pull you through? That's how much one player can do.
That's how much. That's the Alexa effect right there. Dear God, gonna have to name a scientific theorem after this player. I think we can all speak for our feelings when we say we are all Alexa's biggest fans now. Washington County keep themselves alive, grant themselves a huge dose of confidence and momentum. How are you thinking the mentals are on the side of Northside? What's that chat?
Well, I think Northside would have already recognized that they need to nullify Alexa, and I think that could be the focus for them, and it has been for a while. But, you know, it also could be just a case of where they know that they're focusing too much on the fact that they have to nullify them. Maybe they just need to go in as Northside, just play their game and just know that that should be enough to get them through, because they're not going to keep surviving on moments, Washington, with one player. And already Northside with just 4 seconds into this game 4 getting a goal. And look, it is just the difference of playing against a moments player who's phenomenal versus just a solid team with 3. And Northside, they have that 3, they have that ability to keep consistent, and if they can do so in this game, they could see it through.
First time in a while we've seen Northside take the first goal up too, and that could be huge dividends for their confidence, especially if you make it 2. Looking for the follow-up off the backboard, not going to quite find it, and now the offense of Washington County can begin their game, led by you know who. Best be careful. They're on the prowl. Kevin going to try to bat it away, go for a fast break, but blocked out by Washington County.
Yeah, Washington holding on in the defense here, but Northside up on another strong offense. And just every time Northside go forward, they look dangerous. The pace, momentum they send it forward, and just the combination plays that they have with each other, their play style suits so well. But who is it? Who is it? It's Alexa, capitalizing on a mistake from Northside, not sitting deep enough, not clearing that ball well enough. But again, why is it always Alexa? Why was no one else on the side of Washington County there for that shot? It's just always them.
I want to know who Alexa is. For this player to be their biggest fan must be a huge honor, because this Alexa must be like the king or queen of all. They must be just the monarch of Rocket League, because dear God, to earn the respects of this player must be a monumental task, because I'm already ready to stake my life to follow Alexa's biggest fan into any battle. Look at his moves. Look at the fluidity with which they can handle the ball. Just gonna get your own goal, sure. Just any score is a good score for Alexa. Why not? It's like they're playing training mode.
Yeah, absolutely. Alexa just head and shoulders above everyone at times, it seems. But again, we talk about the difference of that 1 versus 3, and Northside as a 3, if they can get it together and just start holding that midfield line, they can re-establish some dominance potentially, even though it's been such a back and forth affair. But Alexa just not letting it happen, always sending that ball back into the danger zone and keeping Northside always having to guess and always having to be on their toes.
That was a brilliant tactical retreat to grab that 100 boost, just starving the opponents out, make them fear your name. I think they already do. 3 minutes now left on the clock, an even game, and you don't want to let it get down to OT if you're Northside, having seen what Alexa can do to you in that period. Evan trying to put on those handles, but not have the Duke boost quite necessary to move past Washington County. Now Zoe's going to be taken out. Alexa's still on the prowl. Let's try to deny Northside as they try to move it right back, maybe get some of the pressure back their way.
Yeah, and you know, I think if you're the side of Northside, as this game goes on, and if you potentially reach a game number 5, you have to be asking questions of how you're essentially let one player rip apart your whole defense, you know, especially after being so dominant to begin with, and continuously showcasing that dominance until the later games in the series. Now, I mean, like, obviously it's gone back and forth, but dominance just in terms of offensive prowess, as we're seeing from Kev right there. Kev with a fantastic flip. They had so many moments like that just haven't really come as regularly for them, I feel like, in this game 4.
I mean, and then once Kevin did start to put those Hot Wheels on, it was Alexa's biggest fan coming in fresh off the demo victimization, going to still be able to make those plays happen. Does not matter if I'm fresh out of the grave. Still going to be making those hot plays. Lucidity now trying to make some headway for the team. Does get a good touch off. Wins that 50-50. Puts in position for Zoe to kick it on up. But no one's in position to quite bat it away. Nonetheless, no Alexa at the very least. This might be who you need, but Washington County are showing a bit more offensive presence here. 3-man strong. That could come back to bite them to leave this goal open. Best be careful, Northside or on the offense.
Yeah, we've seen how clinical Northside can be when the cards start falling in their favor as they take a shot, but it's cleared well by Guess who? Alexa, who's sitting on that defensive line, now going back to the front, flipping out, but not getting it put in the back of the net. Northside holding that defense just about, but Alexa, I mean, the movement's incredible. The way that this player is just able to reset it constantly and be in a danger zone and be there to help out when moments like that happen. My God, that would have been a horrendous goal to concede. What am I watching? This defense is beginning to feel the pressure, I think.
This is a bit foobar, but we have a minute left, just a bit less than it. It's now pitched over the goal, but Alexa's gonna be able to fall to the ends of the earth. No one will touch it. You shall not pass. 40 seconds left on the clock. No boost. Need to go back to scrounge up more. Mari tries to put it in the corner, but no one's there to follow it up. Alexa moves it downfield. Kevin to block it. This is intense.
Oh, this has gone right down to the wire. Both of these teams, I think, really feeling the pressure of this series now. With 25 seconds left, a shot comes in. It's Alexa on the defensive line. Has to go up again. Will she be able to get up for the third time? No, it's
Kevin! Has the perfect positioning. They were just a bit too much overcommittal there from Washington County, and now they're facing set point.
Well, I get that is just the difference maker of a 3 versus 1. Alexa there for the save, but could only do so much. No one else back, but Northside having that 1-2-3 pop, with the third eventually finding its way through, and then Northside going to look to run down this clock. Alexa trying to see to it that they could maybe pull themselves back to an overtime, but potentially looking all but done here.
I don't know, man. 4 seconds left might just be all they need. You gotta put it up quickly, though. Does Alexa have the boost to carry it all the way? Michael Jordan, but stalled out by Maury. That's your father. Northside is going to be able to clutch it out.
What a fantastic series. Congratulations to Northside, and huge commiserations to Washington County, in particular Alexa's biggest fan. Absolutely carrying Washington County through the trenches in that one, and no disrespect to their teammates whatsoever who put in a shift where needed, but Alexa definitely just having that skill gap. I think even beyond everyone in the opposition at times, while we did see Kev have moments of real technical ability, Gothic coming in with then the poacher's touch, I think just Alexa's biggest fan just completely dominated as a player in that series.
Absolutely. Alexa, Washington County, we raise our water bottles to you. Fantastic work to them. They did a fantastic job installing out what was a beautifully synergetic and technical team here, but does not at all take away from Northside's accomplishments. Just the play from all three of those members, each one of them fulfilling a pivotal role to really form a beautiful offensive and defensive symphony that brought them home the set.
Yeah, I mean, Northside just look really, really good as a whole, as a unit, and that's a scary thing. I think teams can have good players, and Washington County have an immaculate player, but that can only take you so far. Because at the end of the day, that series could have been 3-0 if it wasn't for those 1 or 2 moments. Because even your best player is going to have a day where they're not performing to their best self. So the fact you have a team of 3 who are not only consistently good, but just have qualities that bounce and complement off each other, I think that's where, in terms of a tournament where you need to see consistent plays throughout a period of time, that's where you're going to see the real scary dominance potentially take shape, because they could go in there against any team and potentially pull out that performance. But you're the side of Washington, all it takes is just that one team to set up right to completely nullify that MVP that you have and completely change how a game goes for you.
At the end of the day, individual achievement was beat out by solid, efficient teamwork. Credit to both teams there. Credit to all the teams that we saw here play today in the Southeast region. Week 2 of the Rocket League Qualifiers for VESL Spring. I've been D'Lo, joined here by Zep. We had our friend Dappersaurus up on the cams, almighty eye in the sky. Thank you very much for your work as well. It is incredibly important. And thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time as well. We hope you've enjoyed as much as we have. That's all we have here from us today. We hope you have a good one.